Hello, people! How's it going? How is life? I hope it is going great. I haven't seen you now for, close to a month. Time flies when you don't do anything. Anyway, it's Friday now, and I'm definitely happy about that. I've had kind of a crappy week. I'm listening to the Monkees on my turntable right now. I'm not going to say a lot has happened since I've seen you, but there have been some big things that happened. And I guess I'll highlight them a little bit. So, since I've seen you, well, let's go in order of things. Johnny Cash celebrated a birthday. Well, if he had been here, he would have celebrated a birthday. Lots of other people celebrated for him. I did not have a cake or anything, but I did celebrate. I watched Walk the Line, which is a great movie, by the way. And the actors just do a great job of singing. And, yeah, it's a good movie. And then, of course, I couldn't stay away from the park because I had to go and listen to Johnny Cash music. So I did that. And it was funny because I was talking to my mom a little bit about Johnny Cash a couple days ago. And she was like, I think you are Johnny Cash reincarnated and the world just doesn't know it yet. And of course she was joking, but it was pretty funny. I took it as a compliment. What else? Well, on a little bit of a more depressing note, Davy Jones passed away, and oh, is that sad. I had the chance to see the Monkees last summer, and they were here July 23rd, and I didn't really have the money, nor could I find someone to go with, but I was thinking about going, and then I just decided, I was like, nah, I'm not going to go. They'll be back, and now it's too late, and I'm kicking myself. I am kicking myself. I actually didn't know that he had passed away, and I had a coworker email me in the evening, and she was like, just wanted to let you know that Davy Jones died, and I was like, oh no! And then I put on my Monkees record on the turntable and listened to the Monkees all night long, and then I went to the park the following day to listen to the Monkees, and for several days I listened to the Monkees, and then I actually went out last weekend, and I had to change from the Monkees to Elvis, which that's not a disappointment to me at all, but there was actually an Elvis impersonator. Well, they like to be called ETAs, Elvis tribute artists. And there was actually one that performed here in the city that I live in, within walking distance of my apartment, which is great for me since I don't own a car. And I never go out, really, in the sense of going out, okay? I have a job, I work, I go get groceries, I go to church sometimes, and, I go to the park, and so I'm not a hermit in that total sense, but I just really don't go out very much. I stopped going out because I would enjoy myself and have a good time, and then I would have to come home to an empty apartment, and it just made me so incredibly depressed to walk in and have, no one there to greet me and say, hey, how did it go? And I kind of always feel like the odd one out in a group because my friends are all mostly my parents' age and older, and most of them are couples, and I just kind of keep a very close-knit group of friends, and so I kind of stopped going out because I just figured, it's easier if I just don't go do anything, and I just stay on that even level of being, sort of lonely, sometimes alone, well, always alone, but sometimes lonely, and instead of going out, having a good time, and coming back, and then being just like dropping into this pit of loneliness. But I decided, how many times do I get a chance? I had never seen an Elvis tribute artist before, and I was like, how many times am I going to get this chance, within walking distance? And, hold on a second. And I just decided to go. And the day before it was going to happen, I went on Saturday last weekend. And the day before it was going to happen, I decided, you know what? I think I'm going to do it. I don't go out very often. I don't really do that much for myself. And I just thought that it would be good for me. And I love Elvis, so, I thought, why not? So I reserved my ticket the day before, and I walked there. It's about a mile from my house, and it was in the teens that night and windy, and it had just snowed the day before, probably about 6 to 7 inches. And when I got there, I thought about leaving because I got placed at a table between two guys that were in their 60s, both drinking. During the course of the evening, it was supposed to be from 7 to 10. It actually ended up going till about 11. And during the course of the evening, the man to my right finished 3/4 of a pitcher of beer. The man to my right finished a bottle of wine. The whole evening, both of these men were flirting with me, and one of them had a wife there. I think the other one did too, but there was a point, I don't like beer. I don't like the smell of beer. I never have, and I choose not to be around alcohol because I've chosen to be sober, and sometimes I get tempted, and so I think it's best not for me to be around it a lot. And so before Elvis came out, I was seriously considering just leaving, even though I had spent, $20 on this ticket because of the alcohol, and just the fact that in this room full of, probably close to 200 people, they were all older. I was the youngest, and that didn't bother me. I was the youngest person there, other than someone had brought their child, their young daughter, and she was the youngest one there, but I was the youngest one there, and I just felt so lonely because I was the only one that came alone. Everybody was in a group, of friends or with their husband or their wife or their boyfriend or their girlfriend, and I was the only one that came alone, and I was the only one that walked there. But then Elvis came in, and he was dressed in the black leather outfit from the 1968 Comeback Special with a beautiful shiny red guitar. He didn't play the guitar, but the show was called Rock and Soul, and it was Elvis's rock and roll the first half, and then after intermission it was gospel, and I love Elvis gospel more than anything. And the first half, I had to leave a couple times, went out to the bathroom, whatever, because he was singing songs like It Hurts Me, which reminds me of certain things, and I got sad, and I got up and had to walk out for a few moments, and can't help falling in love and stuff, and so I had to take a little bit of a break. He was very good, though, and the gospel half, it was great. I just sat there, closed my eyes, and was just mouthing the words as he was singing them, and I felt like Elvis was in the room, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, and I was like, maybe I should look for a boyfriend in that field. Maybe I should look for an Elvis impersonator, because then he could sing me Elvis whenever I wanted, and it would be my very own Elvis. And I don't know, but I can't say I had fun because I don't know, it's by myself and I was still lonely the whole time, but I did enjoy it. I enjoyed the music. I let it take me away for a little while, and I met Elvis afterwards, and I was introduced to him as the woman that had walked to see his show, and he was very impressed. And so then at about 11 o'clock at night, in the dark, on a street that has very little sidewalks, I walked home on a Saturday night, passing near a bar. And luckily I didn't get run over. It was very cold out. And when I got home, I guess I didn't realize it, but I left my keys in the keyhole outside. And I came inside and I was disoriented from the cold. I was up until about 2 a.m. listening to Elvis. And I love the song It's Midnight. I just think the words are so beautiful and they just speak to me. And it's a sad and melancholy song, but I just love it. And so I finally fell asleep. Sunday morning comes around. It's 9:30, and what am I doing? Well, I'm still sleeping like a rock because I didn't go to bed till 2. And what do I hear? Well, I hear someone knocking on my door. And I'm in the habit that if someone knocks on my door, I ignore it because usually they'll go away. And not many people knock on my door anymore. There's not many people that come because the few friends I have know that I'm probably not going to come out, and I'll talk to them when I'm comfortable talking to them. Sometimes, you go for months and I haven't talked to them or whatever. But anyway, so I hear this knocking and I'm like, oh, I'm going to go back to bed, and it's just jarred me out of sleep. And it didn't stop, and I was like, I guess I better go and see, in case something's wrong, because a couple weeks ago the boiler in our apartment went out, and I was out without heat, and, things have happened before, so I just decided to go and see who it was. I go to the door. First of all, I didn't have my glasses on. I looked through the peephole. I can't tell who it is. Secondly, I didn't have any clothes on, because I keep it pretty hot in my apartment, and most of the time I don't wear clothes in my apartment because I just feel like, what's the point? I wore them all day, God created me naked, whatever. So I go to the door and I'm like, who is it? And he says, it's your neighbor. And as soon as he started talking, I knew who it was. And he says, I just want to let you know you left your keys in the keyhole. And I was like, oh, thanks. And I said, I don't have any clothes on, and I was sleeping. And he said, I'm sorry to bother you. And I said, no, don't worry about it. And he walked away, and then I took down the lock, and I snuck my hand out all sneaky-like and grabbed the keys, and I thought it was kind of amusing. I guess I was disoriented from being out in the cold, because being out in the cold is very much like a blackout when you're drunk, or if you take sleeping pills. You can't remember what you're doing after you've done it. Like the next day, a lot of times you won't remember because your mind is just, and you do stupid things like I've stuck, after being out in the cold for too long, I've, had Kool-Aid and then stuck it in the freezer instead of in the refrigerator, or, and you can't remember these things. So anyway, yeah, then I had to get up and, whatever. This week, I watched Lord of the Rings a couple nights. Borrowed that from a coworker, and so I'm thinking maybe this weekend, maybe I'll pack it all into one day. I don't know. We'll see. But I just love the scenery in those movies. And what else? Yeah, I really haven't been up to much. Been kind of boring lately. Had a hilarious day at work today. I was in a good mood. I had a crappy week all week long. I was sad. I was unhappy. But I don't stay sad for long, I don't think, because of my medication. It keeps me on an even balance, and I can't say, well, obviously you guys probably figured it out by now. I'm not the happiest person, but I do try and smile and be in a good mood and, you know, be cheerful, whatever. And I hadn't been, and my coworkers kept telling me, well, we want the cheerful Emily to come back. Make sure you get some sleep, you know. And I would say, well, I don't think that it has anything to do with sleep. And it really didn't, but, you know, I just realized, you know, I just got to let things go. It's not worth my time, what I let bother me. And it's just a disappointment. So I had a good day at work today. We were laughing and cracking up about all kinds of things. And, you know, I will say that I'm a pretty funny person. I think I get my sense of humor from my mom. I have a pretty dirty sense of humor, but not that she does. She doesn't. But I get my sense of humor from her. And the things that, the comebacks I come with, the jokes, things like that. And I had a leather jacket on today, and one of my male coworkers comes up and he says, you got your bike out in the parking lot? I don't have a motorcycle, but I like my leather jacket. And I said, yeah, you're riding bitch. And just laughed and walked away, and he was cracking up. But, you know, every now and then I'll come back with these little snappy, you know, comebacks. And sometimes not always. My brain's not that fast always. But every now and then it's pretty good. And we just had a pretty funny time today at work. And so it wasn't bad. And it was a Friday. And, oh, gotten my rent taken care of for the month, finally. It was due on the 1st, but it's now been completely taken care of. And, well, I've got a little bit of money in my bank account. I had to appeal my taxes because they didn't give me as much money as they should have, so I'm waiting to hear from them. My birthday's coming up soon. Got a package from my grandmother today. Early birthday present. She had made me gumdrop cookies. I opened the package, ate one cookie, and then thought, these are really good, and sat and ate 7 cookies. So, yeah, I have a problem with sugar. Well, I have eating problems in general. I have the worst eating habits, and I'll go for days without eating anything, and then I will binge eat, and I will sit and eat things like, last week I had 7 sunny side up eggs and a half rasher of bacon one night, and I never gain any weight because I don't eat normally. And so during the week, you know, I don't eat during the day, and I'll come home and sometimes not eat anything, and I lose a lot of weight, and then when I do finally eat, I don't gain any. So yeah, but I have really bad eating habits, and I'll eat a lot of sugar, too. I'll eat, like, ice cream and whatnot, and cookies, and I'm surprised I'm not diabetic. And if I was diabetic, I'd probably be in a coma from all the sugar that I eat. But, you know, I don't know. I have a really bad mindset about eating. I think it developed in high school, but I just think to myself, oh, if I don't eat anything, I'm going to be thin and I'm going to continue to lose weight. And yeah, obviously that's an anorexic's point of view, but, you know, I am at a healthy weight, I think. You know, I'm not too skinny for one thing. I still got fat on me. It's not as bad as it could be. But enough said about that. Anyway, what else? Oh, I got to tell you this story because I think it's pretty funny. So my mom and my sister went camping, and they were on their way back from camping yesterday. And they drove through Alabama, and they made a wrong turn, and I think it was like destiny. I really think it was destiny. And they went past a flea market, and my mom happened to turn her head, and she goes, oh my God, it's Elvis. I have to stop and take a picture for Emily. And it was outside a flea market, and there was an Elvis statue in his signature pose, you know, with his legs bent and everything, all crazy. And it was a statue. It had black pants on it, white suit coat, and he was holding a blue guitar. And my mom took a picture for me and sent it to me. And I thought that was pretty funny. But I think it was destiny that they saw Elvis. And what else? Well, since my birthday's coming up on the 23rd, I picked out an Elvis purse that I think I want. It's a guitar shape, and it's really awesome. That's all I can say about it. What else do I want for my birthday? Well, I want a Swiss Army knife so I can whittle, because I go on nature walks at work during lunch, which has been really cool. I don't think I've mentioned that, but I've been taking nature walks in this wooded area, and I found lots of dead things, which is really cool. It sounds totally demented when I say it like that, but when I say dead things, I mean like deer skulls and things like that, things that have died in the woods. And I took a skull home because I was going to bleach it, because I thought it would be, I mean, it's been out there for a long time. There's nothing on it. And I thought it would be really cool to maybe like carve something in the top of it. But I guess it's neat for me because everybody in Wisconsin, you know, they grew up with deer hunting, whatever. I didn't grow up with that. I grew up in a, you know, really big suburb, and hunting is not something that's generational, passed down in your family. And the biggest hunting in the state of Georgia is probably turkeys in North Georgia, and that wasn't, you know, part of my history or anything. So, you know, I haven't been out deer hunting or anything, or shot a deer, had antlers, you know, had all these deer parts at my dispersal if I wanted them. So to find these things, I think it's kind of neat. And, you know, I found deer skulls. I found just random bones. I found a deer leg with a hoof still attached, which was really cool, and I would like to have. But it needs to be broken down a little bit more by nature. But I just take these nature walks, and there's a marsh out there, and with the snow I've taken beautiful pictures, and it's just very peaceful. Sometimes I'll take my Bible and I'll read, and I was reading Psalm 23 the other day in the woods, and I just thought, you know, this is the kind of spot that this Bible verse was meant to be read in. And that's the one that says, He maketh me to lie down beside green pastures, or in green pastures, and to walk beside still waters. You know, you get the gist. It's that one. And it's just very peaceful. There's a lot of fallen down trees that have to be over 200 years old, and they're all hollowed out in the inside. And when it snows, I see coyote prints out there and rabbit prints, and it's just very neat. And I would love to learn how to track animal prints. And it's peaceful to me. There's a lot of beautiful moss back there, and just, I don't know. I love the woods. That's the only thing in my life that gives me a sense of peace. And if I could, you know, I would walk through, you know, the woods in the middle of nowhere all day long for, you know, every day, because I think it's just beautiful. And that's where I feel at peace with the world. That's where I feel at peace with God. And anyway, so so I've been taking nature walks, and I totally forgot what got me started on talking about nature walks. I was going to tell you about, I think I was starting to tell you about my rabbits. I don't really remember exactly. Anyway, so I was talking about my nature walks. Yeah, I've been doing that. I had been talking about, my mom spotting Elvis, and whittling. That's what got me started on talking about that. So anyway, I take these nature walks. It's really cool. Branches, sticks, you know, all kinds of stuff. And I would love to be able to whittle. And I don't have a Swiss Army knife, so I would love a Swiss Army knife for my birthday, and that's what I've asked for. And I had really wanted to, for my birthday, I'm taking the day off. It's a Friday. And I had really wanted to go up to visit Oshkosh, which is, I don't know, about an hour and 45 minutes drive from here, to sit by the lake and just, you know, enjoy the day. And then I wanted to go to Neenah, because that's where my dad was born. And that's about 15 minutes from Oshkosh on the highway. And I don't know, eat there or something. And then what I'd really like to do is I'd really like to find somewhere that's supposed to be haunted and take a ghost tour. I think that would be really cool, or have a seance or something like that. We were talking about stuff like that at work today. And the paranormal side of things is just so interesting to me. And I've always kind of really liked that stuff. And I'm very skeptical though, but I would like to see a ghost. And so that's what I'd like to do for my birthday. But the thing is, since I don't have a car, I have very few friends, I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to make it work. I'm going to see what I can do. But I'm not really thrilled about my birthday coming up. I mean, you know, birthdays are supposed to make you feel good and everything. But what makes me frustrated about my birthday is, you know, I'm going to be turning 24. And I feel like the number doesn't reflect how I feel inside or who I really am or the things that I've been through. And I feel like maybe I should be turning 42 instead of 24. So it frustrates me because people say, oh, you're so young, or you look so young. And yes, I look young, but I hate it when people say you're so young. It's almost like saying, oh yeah, you have all this life in front of you. You haven't been through all these things. And you know what? Some of those people that say that to me, I've been through more than they will ever be through in their life. And so it's kind of frustrating. Not that I want my whole life to, you know, speed up and things like that. And but I just think that that's what makes me the most upset about my birthday, because I just feel like the number isn't a true reflection of who I am. But anyway, so yeah, my birthday's coming up, and so not really much else on the agenda till then. But oh, also about Elvis. I think I have Elvis scratch fever. I thought this was really funny at the time. I got home yesterday and I have a rabbit named Elvis, and he is the funniest rabbit there ever has been. I've had rabbits my whole life, and I have two other rabbits too, Rhett and Honey. And Elvis was an impulsive buy. I was in a pet store, and pet stores are my downfall. But Elvis was there, and he was $30, and he has the most beautiful blue eyes. I have never seen a rabbit with blue eyes, and he is, I'm looking at him right now, he's brown, and he's got a white belly and white around his neck, and his ears are just, he's like a Netherland dwarf mixture, and his ears are probably about like this tall, not even exaggerating. And he is just, he's my baby. And every morning, you know, I tell him, bye boo, mama has to go to work and make money so you can eat, because he gets up on his cage and he wants to see me. So yesterday I got home and I was like, I'm going to trim your nails. So I trimmed his nails. He did not want to have anything to do with that. He's very wild because he's not fixed, and my other rabbits are males and they're fixed. And it does calm a rabbit down just like with any other animal. And so he's kind of wild. He likes to run around the apartment and hide and things like that, dig, whatever. But he did not like having his nails trimmed, and he took his back legs, which had very long nails on them, and proceeded to scratch me on the arm and on my fingers, and I was bleeding. So I thought, oh, it was pretty funny, and when I was talking to my mom about her Elvis sighting, I said, Mom, I think I have Elvis scratch fever. And then when I was at work today, I told my boss, I said, you know, I have to go home today. I'm really tired, and I have Elvis scratch fever, so I can't work today. And of course, he just rolls his eyes because he's got his hands full with me. And, you know, we're always making jokes about something. But, yeah, Elvis is a very funny rabbit. He likes to, apparently before I got him, he lived with somebody that had a dog, and he roamed around with this dog, I guess. And I think he's picked up dog-like behaviors, because he'll be in his cage, and all of a sudden I'll hear this thud. And he's thrown himself on his side or upside down, and he lays there with his legs out. Now, this is not characteristic rabbit behavior if you know rabbits. And he'll just lay there and his eyes will sort of close, or sometimes they won't even close, and he'll just lay there like he's dead. I can't tell if he's breathing, and he'll just be as still as can be, and I'll talk to him, and he doesn't know I'm there, almost like he has narcolepsy. And then all of a sudden, he'll jump up real fast, like, oh, you were talking to me. And I'm like, and it just is funny to me. And he also stretches and yawns and opens his entire mouth. And he just is so relaxed. And most rabbits, my other rabbits, are very alert. They keep their ears open at all times, whatever, checking things out. And he just doesn't care. He digs through his food looking for the perfect piece to eat, even if they're all the same. Then he drags it around the cage and tips it over. And I trudged through the snow the other day to get rabbit food, and he bit me when I got home. And I was not very happy about that because I had gone to get him food. And he just does a bunch of funny things. And it makes me, I don't know, it makes me happy because he's funny. But anyway, yeah, like I said, not much going on. I'm just talking about blah, 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 just to talk. But anyway, so I'm going to go now because I'm almost out of my cigarette, and I've had too many, and it's probably getting long. But just kind of wanted to visit with you guys, see what's going on, tell you what I was doing and what I've been up to. And so I'm going to let you go now. I hope you have a lovely weekend. Have a great Friday night, and I will see you next time I see you. Bye.